Hey, what is up, guys? No, I'm just playing, you know what I'm saying? Let's get to the video. So today we're talking about To Your Eternity, season 3 to be exact, which I didn't even know this anime was getting another season. But after watching the first episode, this is so fire. The concept of them being in a world pretty much like ours, where we got phones and cars and bars and kids doing free labor. But aside from that, now we get Fushi, and he's really old. So he opens his eyes, leans forward, transforms, and teleports to somewhere on the planet. And Fushi is just in awe of how beautiful the world is. And then he puts his fucking hands up to call Alex. Before he calls him that, the Beholder comes up, which, you know, that's his name apparently, and gives him the ability to freely attach and detach from the vines and to enjoy himself in the new world. So Fushi flash TPs to the city, and after a bit, he gets whacked straight Isekai style by the freaking truck. He heals all his wounds and starts inspecting this truck. Keep in mind, he's never seen a truck because they didn't have them back in his day. Buddy with the camera sees this as a common occurrence apparently and takes him to the hospital to get checked out. So this guy pays for his bill. In return though, he wants to post everything Fushi went through, which for a fact is going to be brought up in later episodes since everyone can see his powers and record it. But I digress. Now Fushi is with a boba tea on a little boat. He passes by, he sees some people making music, he's in the crowd. He's just having a good time, man. He's like, this is so fun. And then he says, time to bring my fucking gang here, bro. And starts resurrecting everybody from the dead. We got our boy Gugu back. And March is here too, but she's stuck in a museum and ends up killing somebody. Now we're back at the school where the kid notices that the roots stopped growing.
And that based on the records I've been keeping since I was 6, they grow around 1 meter a second.
So he concludes that the symbol of peace has come. I completely forgot to mention the whole cast of characters, and if you haven't caught on, this girl looks a lot like Hayase, and you know, she most likely is like the descendant or whatever. And this kid is straight obsessed with her, but he's a vice president of the club, so it's all good. We get to see a little bit more of the girl's life, and you know, she has it pretty hard. It seems like her mom really wants her to excel at everything, and she already has excelled at everything. And just by looking at her room, you can tell all the different freaking like certificates or whatever she's gotten. And it's really sad. You know, she ends up saying she wants to game end herself. Which might be a hint into what the season's subjects might touch on in the future. Like maybe depression, anxiety, or even Fushi going a little schizo. And speaking of Fushi, we jump back to him teleporting in with 2 bubble teas after sensing March's footsteps. Fushi peeps through the window and crushes the 2 teas like he's angry, then turns into a fish and starts swimming. Like, bro, just imagine being able to turn into a fish and just fish away and shit. In reality though, he's thinking deeper, where everyone belongs, what will make him happy, where he should be heading, if everyone's going to forget about him if he doesn't do anything. Pretty much the same questions I ask myself every day. And because of this dilemma, he makes a fucking star. And just like a moth to a flame, Fushi bites on this kid's bait, which never happens to me when I go fishing, and that's the end of the episode. I'm joking. He comes back onto land and he uses his Nico passive to turn back into himself. And this kid takes a pic of Fushi, and Fushi slaps the camera right out of his face because that's disrespectful. And this jit isn't going to let that money move pass by him. So he has Fushi take his ass home after a bit of tussling. So we're back at the kid's house. His grandpa talks about calling the police on Fushi, but he's not stressed about all that because he has like 11 members in his gang, bro. Fushi turns into a wolf and everything is fine now apparently. He even Sun Jing Woo arises both of his buddies from back then, and yeah, the grandpa states to not tell anyone about Fushi. But this little bastard goes out and tells all his friends. Thankfully, nobody believes him. And back to Hayase's descendant, she gets stepped on purpose by some bully for whatever reason. Well, I mean, they're kids, so they're freaking mean and horrible to each other. And as she gets out of school, she walks home and meets our main man, Fushi. And that's the end of episode 1. If you enjoyed the video, let me know in the comments and come back when the next episode drops. Dolly!